So welcome to the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship, and we are back in the Principality. It's the Monaco EPrix, and for once, we're delivering action and intrigue. Hello everybody and welcome to True Unpredictability. Nobody knows what's going to happen over the next course of this first race of the weekend. Alongside me here in the commentary box is Tom Cans. And Tom, welcome to Formula E, both on Formula E Zone and JB Motorsports. And well, a fascinating qualifying earlier on has put a youngster on pole position. He made his debut here a year ago, but now Taylor Barnard lines up on pole position, and Ollie Rowland crashing has put him second on the grid. How you doing, my friend?
I'm not too bad, thank you. Josh had a nice break since the qualifying session had concluded, and we're going to what should be a fascinating Monaco E burst of 2 races this weekend. The second one being held tomorrow, and one driver who has been also a star is Dan Ticktum, who topped the practice sessions heading into qualifying before eventually placing his Cupra Kiro in 3rd place on the grid. He'll be one to look out for, I think, in today's race.
Yeah, fastest in free practice number 1 and 2, and then Group B quarterfinals. He got all the way to the semi-finals. He now lines up 3rd with then 4th place for Nick de Vries as well. Some interesting qualifying positions as well on the grid. Out of position, of course, Andretti, mainly though, Antonio Finis Costa down 15th on the grid. You can overtake at this circuit, which is rare to say, but it's critical because today we've also got to deal with the attack charge coming back into the mix as well, which makes life very, very hard.
It will, and we've got the pit boost to come during the race. 197 overtakes had taken place at this track last year for Formula E, and I think we're going to get a whole lot more, especially through the likes of the Neufeld chicane and elsewhere. The attack mode situated at Casino Square, as it has been in previous seasons. They've got to make sure they use all of it, Josh, because some of them didn't quite do so last year in Miami, despite the fact that we had that red flag towards the end.
Yeah, and to do that race mode attack as well, you get 480 seconds, which is 8 minutes in total. You activate it twice. You can maximum of armings of 5 times, and it comes in either 2 and 6, 4 and 4, and 6 and 2. Now, both races here are 29 laps long. That's 96.8. Okay, so got some issues with our microphones there as well. I'll have to switch to the headset as well. There's our first technological problem of the day. We'll get that sorted as we come into it. Right now, though, let's head down and get some lap analysis and head over to the world feed as well as the racing builds up. We're almost ready for lights out here in Monte Carlo.
Oh, well, we've got to stand really close because it's rather busy back here. But we are by Mitch Evans' car over there in P8. Let's talk about how he has done as a driver over the course of his career in Formula E. Because, you know, he started off towards the back, but wow, last few years he really has shone. Second, third, second in the championship in the last 3 years. DC, he really is a phenomenally competitive driver in Formula E.
Yeah, great talent, and the results have been there when the car and the package has been working for him. So, obviously, the high of last year, still not out of it where he is starting on the grid here. You know, of course, underlying pace is displayed in qualifying, but race is more strategic, and it's getting a bit grey as well. I'm not predicting it's going to rain, but you just never know in Monaco.
Well, my hands are getting a bit clammy, and I wasn't sure if it's because I was standing next to you, DC, or if it's the weather. James, tell us, though, the consistency that Mitch always brings to the team. You know, he is that kind of level-headed. He brings so much experience, and he's now working with Nick Cassidy. So there's such a strong pairing, just missing out on the Driver Championship last year.
Yeah, they are, but they're struggling a lot this season, much more than we imagined. I mean, we saw a great race from Mitch in the first race of the season, but since then they're not really delivering the results that I've personally been expecting of them. I feel like they need to step up their game. I feel like Mitch is maybe driving quite well, and Nick is driving, he's struggling a bit more with the car, and that's something that's going on. But I do think that they've got a good chance to get in there today and get back on the podium. Yeah,
I mean, you can see there, obviously, Jackie Ortiz Racing won the team standing last year because of that consistency from their two drivers, but it's not quite happened yet. A lot of pressure on Nick Cassidy at the moment to start bringing in the points to match their performance from Mitch.
I don't know if it's pressure for them, or it's the whole team needs to get the package together, because they keep missing one part of the weekend. They're not delivering, you know, every session, as we've seen Dan Ticktum do so far today. So yeah, let's see if they can put it all together today and get back to the top step.
They did such a great job here last year, working so well together as a team, bringing home that 1-2. It's going to be a struggle for them here this time round. But now let's find out what James got up to, testing out the regen in a Gen 3 Evo car. And I think you had a little bit too much fun.
Starting with just 1% battery, could the Gen 3 Evo car potentially generate enough recharge by descending a high mountain pass to do a lap of Monaco?
Et si on partait tous les deux?
Alright guys, let's do this.
Explorer tout ce qu'on veut.
James, remember, every corner is a recharge. Copy that. I've got company.
On a vraiment rien à perdre.
She was fast. Props for that. Reagan just spiked. Something wrong with the car? Nope. Just a fellow racer I had to say hello to. Now back to the plan. That car is in my lane. Wow, that was insanely close, my friends. James, you made it. Enough recharge to do a lap in Monaco. I think Monaco deserves a show. Let's go.
David Gandy joins us, is equally fascinating. David, you are a huge petrolhead motorsport.
Okay, let's try that again, shall we, with a wired microphone to come in, so me and Tom can have a further conversation about the weekend as well. Tom, yeah, there's a lot of intrigue ahead of us with the pit biz. I'm not sure how much you heard before the mic's cut out, so I will repeat it. You can pit anywhere between 60 and 40% of battery charge, but the minimum pit stop time here is 34 seconds, and you get an extra 3.85 kilowatts of pit boost. That's going to be incredibly difficult, because for the first time we're coming here for an attack charge, and it's at Monaco, a circuit which you kind of take out in Formula E, but adding a pit stop into it, I'm thinking of the chaos coming out of the pit lane running up into turn one.
Well, I don't really know what to make of it. I mean, I think only time in the race will tell whether the pit boost could play a huge part in today's race. It'd be interesting to know whether it performs like an undercut or an overcut, actually, and how effective that pit boost will be for everyone to come in. But the attack mode is also going to play a huge role, because we need to obviously see drivers use all their attack mode before the race finishes. Yeah. And I don't think we're going to quite see in previous races, Josh, where the leader is going to end up just backing itself off into the pack. I'd like to see someone try and pull away a little bit and not quite giving the toe of the cars behind, but we want to see some close racing here in Monaco.
Want to see some close racing, want to see some action. It's 29 laps ahead of us, of course. That's going to be the big deal as Formula E go to an ad break now as well. Let's just run you down then quickly through the grid and how they're going to line up in full then. It is Taylor Barnard and Oliver Rowland on the first row of the grid, first and second. Dan Ticktum lines up third for the Cooper Cairo. It's fourth for Nick De Vries. Pascal Wehrlein is fifth. Robin Friends 6th, Jake Dennis 7th, Mitch Evans comes in 8th, Eduardo Mortara is 9th, and Maximilian Gunther in 10th. David Beckman 11th, with Sam Bird 12th, Stoffel van Dorn's 13th, Nico Muller 14th, Antonio Felix da Costa's 15th, Jean-Eric Verne 16th, Lucas de Grassi 17th, Norman Nato 18th, Nick Cassidy 19th, Sebastian Buemi 20th, Jake Hughes 21st, and Zane Maloney 22nd on the grid as well. So it's going to be a fascinating weekend and a fascinating race ahead of us. Ed Hunter will be joining myself and Tom in the comms box tomorrow for race number 2. Today he's doing another event as well outside of Formula E, and all the interviews as well will be got because we've got men trackside waiting for us to give us all the reports. And just a quick reminder, if you are watching us on Formula E Zone, we're only a few subscribers away from 1,000, so please do subscribe and get this amazing channel monetized, and we will very much enjoy it, and a celebration if we can get to over 1,000 subscribers. We're 2 away. We are 2 subscribers away from 1,000 on the Formula E Zone. We're at 998. And don't forget, you've got the Formula E Bar on Monday. Your voice heard. It's the fan call-in show. Give us your opinions on this weekend as well after the fact. So, Tom, coming to you quickly as well. Predictions for this race. Who's your pick a winner? Who do you think is going to be vital straight out the gates and will have the advantage down to turn 1?
I'd probably say Rowland will have, maybe not at the beginning, but I'd reckon maybe after the pit stop boosts, he's going to be at the head of the field. And if he can play the attack mode very, very nicely, then he's got a good chance of coming away with the race win. So I'd probably go for Oliver Rowland in this.
I'm going to go for an outsider, and I think I'm going to change what I said in the Grid Network show. I'm going to go for Dan Ticktum. I've just got a feeling, the way he's been, I think he could do something in race 1. And Pit Boost was Cupra's sort of mini challenge that they had to do in pre-season testing. And we've still got to see what they're all going to be about going forward. So, just give you a reminder what's coming up later on in the day then here on JB Motorsports as well. We've got on JB Motorsports 2 coming up at 3 o'clock, the opening Freca round of the championship from Mazzano. 3:20, JT as well as Jess and Tom, who will be diving off straight after this session. We'll be covering the F1 Academy. Then at 4 o'clock, we've got the Cup practice and qualifying for NASCAR at Texas. JBMotorsports 2 has Italian F4. That's at 4 o'clock. Barber practice 2 at 4:30. And then the F1 sprint, we're on F1 4:15. Lights out at 5 o'clock for the F1 sprint. After that, a little bit easier. We get a couple of hours break ourselves. It'll be IndyCar qualifying from Barber, the Xfinity race with Matthew Owens and the USRN team on call. Academy race 1 is at 8 o'clock, and then at 8:45, with session starting at 9, it is our final one of the day, which is Miami qualifying. So that's how it all lines up here. We're going up, though, for the start of the Monaco EPrix. We have no idea what could happen in this one. It's a pit boost with maximum attack. It is surely going to be something special and something brilliant. Down trackside, your commentary team, Tom Brooks, David Coulthard and Karoon Channog. In the pit lane is Katie Munnings alongside Saunders CB. Nicky Shields and James Rossiter will be patrolling as well the paddock. And up in the JB Motorsports and Formula E Zone commentary box, it's myself, Joshua Birch, alongside Tom Cairns. Here we go then. Let's head down to the world feed.
Monitor. Wow, a very busy grid here in Monaco, but DC, we really are just minutes away. I think this is race predictions.
Well, the great thing about, I think where we are in the season, we're mature enough to have the knowledge and experience of just how the cars have been performing. This is a big test for Taylor with the pole there. Roland, Oliver, he's just got the experience, he's got the maturity, he knows how to win races. So it's difficult to pull between those two.
And then also, of course, such an opportunity for Dan Ticktum. But this is it, the moment we have been waiting for. Let's write the next chapter in the history books of these famed corners. 22 drivers are ready to take to the streets of Monaco. The drivers are ready, so are we. Let's go racing.
Love it.
Monaco, not just a race, a place of wonder. History in every corner. Pressure behind every wheel.
It flies out and we're racing.
Getting it just right. Or getting it very, very wrong. Where speed meets spectacle. Precision meets pressure. You need both. Monaco. EPrix.
We are all set then for Monaco. This is the big one. The duel in Formula E's crown on the full circuit for the first time just a few years ago. Now, what is going to happen? Welcome to the first EPrix of the weekend. Track temperatures are 27 degrees, air temperature 21, 72% humidity, a 35% chance of rain. But who is calling that different? It's a beautiful atmosphere. Grandstand is packed out. The people have flocked in. Formula E may have floundered a bit in Miami, but here in Monaco, they are all set to get going. And what a beautiful, beautiful circuit it is as well. Monaco on the full circuit, 3.337 kilometers as well. Start line and offset just ever so slightly. Action zones all the way around. Attack mode down at turn number 4, the exit of Casino Square. And then the Nouvelle Chicane, where overtakes for the race victory have been done several times before. Locking up, crashing, contact galore. Tabac speaks for itself with how fast in a four-wheel drive car you can take it out. And then run down through the swimming pool towards Raskas and Anthony Nogues. Monaco oozes racing. Let's take a look then at how they will line up on the grid for this one as well, because the atmosphere has been building for a while. The tension is in the air. On row number 11, Zane Maloney starts in 22nd. Alongside him is Jake Hughes. Row 10 sees Sebastian Buemi alongside Nick Cassidy. Row 9 sees Norman Nato alongside Lucas Degrassi. Row 8 sees Jean-Eric Verne 16th and Antonio Felix da Costa in 15th. Row 7 sees Nico Muller 14th. Stoffel Van Dorn lines up in 13th. Row 6 sees Sam Bird in 12th. Alongside him, David Beckman in 11th. Row 5 sees Maximilian Gunther starts 10th, Eduardo Mortara starts in 9th position as well, as we look down to the grid, over the top of the Principality to see them as well on the grid. Gunther not making it through to the duel, starting 10th. He's got a lot of work to do as well for the 5th row. Eduardo Mortara just missing out in P9 as well by 0.004 of a second. He was off in the duel stages. Mitch Evans, he lines up 8th on the grid as well on row number 4, alongside Jake Dennis, who starts P7. Row 3 and 6th on the grid for Robin Friends as well. He was 6th fastest in the duel segment, 10th off of his own best time as well for the session. Pascal Verline, he lines up 5th on the grid, winner last time out from Miami. Front row of the grid, Nick De Vries in 4th. Dan Ticktum has topped free practice 1, free practice 2, Group B quarterfinals, but couldn't master the semi-finals, and he starts 3rd. Front row, Oliver Rowland crashed and Sander Vaught on his qualifying lap time. putting Taylor Barnard, who made his debut here last year in Formula E, on the Julius Baer pole position. He's won round the streets before here as well, let's not forget. He has been victorious in the championship. That was back in Formula 2. We roll forward to the main grid. Tom Cairns alongside me. Tom, this is going to be a blast down towards the first corner. What are you thinking?
Oof, well, if Polo can get a decent start from pole, he's got a good chance to just stay in the lead for the time being before they all settle in and start using their attack modes. Not obviously on the first lap, but you just look at all the tyre smoke being made by some of the drivers. We just wait a little bit until the tyre smoke has gone away so that the drivers can get a good enough view of the lights before we go green. Antonio Da Costa, what can he do from 15th on the grid? Previous race winner here in the past is Da Costa, but he's going to find it very difficult to do it from there today.
Here we go then, all set, teeth gritted, roll of the dice ready. Tictum 3, Roland 2, Barnard 1, 3, 4, 5 lights! Lights out! We're rolling the dice in Monaco with a good start from Roland. Cuts across immediately into turn 1. Tictum's under attack. De Vries on the outside. Tictum knocks up. Barnard leads to the first corner and Sandoval. On Beau Rivage we go. We've made it through cleanly. Already they're too wide further back as Dennis Evans makes battles together. Up into Massenet. Barnard has a 5/10 advantage already over Roland. De Vries puts in into third. Tictum to fourth. Evans gets ahead of Frines. And now they're just lighting up the pace as we head down towards Mirabeau, Tom. Great start from everyone as we ride with Da Costa.
Predictably, Barnard getting off very, very well and taking the inside into Sandoval. And we see some jostling through Mirabeau there. Can't quite see who that is. It looks like one of the DS Penske cars that is coming through. Oh.
That's going to be Evans Mortara in a battle, and Gunther's trying to go on the outside into Portier. So they're just trying to go 3-1 already. Verne, Cassidy and Buemi also doing battle over 16th position. Beckman and Gunther swapping places. to Grassi into 16th through the tunnel, down to the Nouvelle chicane. Barnard leading, and now how much is that pressure going to go? We've got to save the tyres in this circuit as we enter Nouvelle. Look at Roland, he's already caught up to the back of Barnard.
Yep, I'm just seeing them going through Nouvelle chicane. It looks like Dan Tixon got a little out of shape through Saint-Devote because he was focusing on trying to front De Vries, and De Vries got ahead of him before they got to the apex. But other than that, it seems to be a clean start for all the drivers. No major damage or anything like that throughout the first lap. Team Radio, Roland.
It's definitely a weird noise coming from my car, mate.
Maybe there was more damage from that qualifying crash than meets the eye. Oliver Rowland says there's a weird noise coming from his car, and believe me, when you've got earpieces in and it's an electric car, you hear something weird. It can't be the engine, it can't be anything like that. So there's something wrong with Rowland's car. Let's see if De Vries will have a go. But Tixon's on the back of De Vries, and Verline's getting in there as well as they come through Saint-Devote. Up Beau Rivage we go. Hughes and Maloney swapping places as well. No changes from 8 down to 13. Only a couple of changes inside the top 10. Everyone just moving up a single place. That's to be expected. We'll have to wait as attack mode is now activated.
Yep, attack mode activated on the second lap, so drivers can use that as soon as they want and in different lengths. But they have to use it twice over the course of the race to use all the attack mode before the race finishes. Hence why we had those time penalties for a few drivers last time out in Miami. So
Dennis,
they better make sure they play this strategically. Go on, Josh.
I was going to say, Dennis trying to go on the outside of Verline didn't work down to the hairpin. I thought you'd finish your sentence, so I jumped in. Sorry about that.
It's all right. So, like what Josh's saying, they could take it in different lengths for these attack modes. You could do 4 and then 4 minutes, that is. 6 minutes and then 2 and then, or 2 and then 6, if I remember correctly.
You are bang
from
on.
earlier.
Yeah, you are spot on with that. And you can it's a total of 8 minutes across the two. We're on board with Roland now, who's just settled in behind Taylor Barnard. So already this race just taking it easy, and they're not expecting much to have a vermouth about it, as cutting the curb a little bit. Tictum looks like a bit racy behind De Vries as we head down towards the last Cass, past our commentary position. As they fly in to the last corner, boots it back out. There's a marshal there standing ever so close. He's got the best view of the entire Principality. Lap 3 then, as we continue, and it's Barnard from Roland, De Vries, Tictum, Verline, Dennis, Frines, Evans, Mortara, Gunther so far, and into the pit lane has come Nico Muller for a new rear left tyre, and this is not part of the plan, but he would be able to catch up later on in the race, so it's not too bad so far.
It looked like he got a slow puncher there on the right rear, did Muller, hence why he's come into the pits so early. But that's his race heavily compromised. He's out on his way now. We've cut away from the battle at the front, and you just see one of the McLarens heading his way. That has to be Sam Bird, round the outside of the Cooper Kiro of David Beckman by the looks of it. He's got through, and you could just see the field through Vermont Hairpin nearly coming together there, almost gridlock. But they got away with it sweet and sound.
You can tell Monaco TV, Monte Carlo TV are directing this one. The cameras are all over the place. The only thing that Formula E have a direct control on are the onboard cameras and the cameras inside the pit lane. Everything else is par Monte Carlo TV, and they've been experimenting over the last few years. It's the only one they've produced alongside the historic Monaco Grand Prix after FOM took over their coverage of the Grand Prix. So down towards to back we go. No one's taken attack mode just yet. They've all still kept their barriers. We are aware the timings are frozen on the watch along. Don't worry, they do that every race. They'll catch up in a few moments' time. The page itself hasn't frozen. It's just the amount of information that it's trying to process has crashed it. It'll catch up in a few moments' time. Barnard leads from Roland de Vries, Tickton, Verline, Dennis, Friends, Evans, Mortara. Gunther has the top 10. Cassidy's jumped ahead of Jean-Eric Verne though as we come over the line, and it's fastest lap now for Roland, now for Da Costa, who's made his way up to 12th, 1:37.203.
I wonder who's going to be the first to head for the attack mode. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see someone like, I don't know, Antonio Felix da Costa deciding to go for it at this early stage and try and make his way through the field. Yeah. We're talking about those at the back end of the pack to take the attack mode early, but it's only lap 4. And what does Roland do at this point?
Does Roland go? Does he go on the attack? Let's take a replay though, how the lights went out, Tom.
So it feels to me like Barnard got a relatively clean start, as did Roland, so it wasn't like a big difference in terms of the starts between those two, but we saw de Vries go on right round the outside of Dun Tickton. Tickton out of shape a little bit and almost causing a Constantina collision behind, but somehow they all got through clean. This is Tickton then. Just watch how he's fighting with the steering wheel as he got over the curb on the inside of Saint Devot, and you'll see that he's having to fight with it. Yeah, he had to get out of it at the end, but yeah, that wasn't without a kick of oversteer as he was applying the power.
So down we come in towards to back again. Attack mode for Cassidy and Maloney. Cassidy's taken 4 minutes, so he's on the half-half strategy. Maloney's taken 6 minutes, so he's on the 6-2 strategy earlier on in the race. So that's your attack modes have been charged. You can see the blue bar means that they've been activated. Fastest up of the race now keeps on changing as we start onto the 5th lap of 29 here. Remember, the pit boost becomes available between 60... Oh, side by side!
Attack mode.
I can't really get past the freeze.
Copy. Happy to other consume if you can try to get past.
Tickton says he can't get past de Vries, but meantime, that was, I think, Mortara sneaking her luck on the inside of Mitch Evans, and Anthony Noakes are riding with Tickton now into Massenet, through Casino Square, and down towards Mirabeau, and they've really got to try to think of a move. Anyone going to take attack mode? No, not this time. By as still jostling for position. Barnard now defending more. Roland seems a bit more feisty. Meantime, is that Friends battling with Dennis? Yeah, Dennis sending around the outside. Not only of Friends, but also trying to have a go at Pascal Verline. Verline shuts him off coming into Portier 1 and 2.
A nice move there from Jake Dennis on Robin Friends. That was without attack mode, believe it or not. So as he saw Friends get stuck behind Verline into the Vermont hairpin, he went the long way round past him, later on the brakes, and got the move done clean. And now we see Tickton thinking about it on de Vries into the Nouvelle chicane for 3rd place. He has to go across it. He has to go across the chicane, did Tickton.
Tickton, I think, went across the chicane.
Yeah, someone missed it.
Good job so far. Stick at it.
Yeah,
Well, Tom picked that up over the actual Coulthard and Caroon. They didn't pick that one up as well on the monitor. Apologies if the watch-along's laggy. That's because the timing systems from Formula E need a few laps to warm up, but they're ready now. And they're in system with the driver tracker, so all is good. So, on board then with Roland, we're looking ahead to Barnard, who's leading here. He's got experience after his Formula 2 sprint win here last year as they come down towards Saint Devot. The predicted window is 14 to 18 of that window for pit boost. That's nice that they've told us that via the graphic on the start window as they come in towards turn number 1 again. It's lap 6 of 29. There's a long, long way to go in this one.
We've got Cassidy and Maloney on attack modes then. Is anyone looking to use attack mode this lap? Well, we've got Taylor Barnard who's just coming through here. who's daring to go for it now. It doesn't seem to be like anyone, although there is someone, I think that was Beckman, who's just gone into attack mode. So this is a replay of Ticton going across the chicane, avoids that sausage curb, but he had to give the position to Verline.
Yeah, he's been deleted the track limits for it as well, so he's got no space. He'd argue he was forced off the track there, wouldn't he?
He would, but he wasn't alongside enough.
No space. That's all. It's put me on the curb on entry. Locked up. I was around the outside.
Put me on curb at entry, and Tictum's dropped down to 7th position now as well. I think that's a separate issue. I think as Cassidy runs out of attack mode, Beckman's chosen the 4-4 approach, by the way. Tictum's dropped all the way down now to 7th. Yeah, Cassidy's jumped him. Frines 2. Beckman gets ahead of Gunther. Cassidy's trying to go on the outside of Dennis as attack mode dies out through the swimming pool section now. So they've only got one left apiece, but they do get the pit boost coming in as well between either lap 14 to 18 or between 60 and 40% battery remaining. You can stop off and get an extra 3.85 kilowatts of power compared to the 96.8 kilometers you're allowed to use during the race. We haven't even got into added laps yet as well. Go on.
Yeah, well, we haven't got to the added lap situation because we've not had a safety car yet in this one. But we are riding on board with Nick Cassidy in 6th place, going after Jake Dennis. And Cassidy, who was one of the championship contenders last year, until the final race. So far this season, as far as his tally is concerned, he's not had the best starts in the season. Just 1 points finish out of 5 races, compared to his teammate Mitch Evans, who's had 1 win and no point scores other than that.
Nick has gained quite a few positions with his attack. Looks more powerful than expected. Green code, please, green code.
Here's the energy reveal as Frines gets barged out of the way by Tictum, who launched on the inside. So right now, we've got 79 to 76% of battery power left throughout the field on the energy reveal. So everybody is saving it as predicted to try and get to the pit boost. Hughes is actually the best of the field so far. He's just taken 2 minutes of attack mode. Buemi has gone for the 4 minute of attack 2. It's coming on that monitor. Track temperature still the same as air temperature, still humidity at 70% as this race goes on. So, we're getting to the point now where you can see Roland's got... Oh, on the inside, that's at the back. Who's that? I think that was Buemi getting headed to Grassi. I think it was Frines on TikTok, yeah. Barnard v. Roland battling now together as well. It's all going nuts as a 3 wide into Raskas. Not going to work out there, my friend. You'll have to lift off, but Evans got ahead. And Evans are getting forced down by Tictum. Fabulous coming up corners.
Brilliant battling between Ticton and Evans through Larascas. We are just seeing some changes in the field. Mortara's dropped down the order. He's behind Bettman now, who's still in attack mode. He's looking to the outside is Bettman on Mortara into Sandefjord. So Bettman is now ahead of Mortara, and that was coming all along.
Anyone, the optimal strategy is a 4-4 split. Can't see anyone taking attack mode yet. Verline's on the back. Meantime, on the inside, that's dangerous. And that's Evans, Cassidy and Tictum battling. And I think Tictum's got himself in a Jaguar sandwich on the outside now. Evans trying to come on the inside. Cassidy's forced his way through. And Tictum's gone up into 7th. Evans has lost out a couple of places there. Beckman's losing out on his attack mode now as they come down to the Nouvelle chicane. Once more, Barnard Radio.
Just over 1% down on energy compared to Roland and De Vries. ISO to Verline and Dennis, no concerns.
Yellow flag at turn 8. That's we've got it. Whoa! I think Degrassi's in the wall. Portier. I think something's wrong with Degrassi. Track surface is slippery, and we've got a green, yellow, green. So something's happened to Degrassi. Yeah, he's continuing on. I think. Yes, he is. So something's happened there. Muller's out of position too. So Muller out of place. And yeah, well, this is getting nuts now as they come into Larascas. Barnard leading from Roland. The car's on the inside there as they come into contact! Oh, big one! The entire field, the track's blocked! Surely this will have to be a red flag. They've got it through. But out of the race goes Antonio Felix da Costa. And this is certain to bring out the safety car. They can bring them through the pit lane so it won't stop the race. But out goes da Costa. Big one there, Tom.
It was. He's had a tap from someone there, has Da Costa, and that's him out already at this stage. It will not be a red flag. They'll be able to get that towed away under safeguard unless, with these Monaco Marshals, they are very lively and very professional, these, so they might be able to do it under double wave yellows. You can just see the Porsche crew waiting in case DaCosta will get going again, but he won't do from there. But that's a terrible, terrible shame there for the Portuguese driver. See, Tictum still fighting it out with the Jaguars.
In 3, 2, 1, full course yellow, please.
Full course yellow has been activated, so the virtual safety car deployed. That's a good call, I feel, Tom. They can now back up and effectively neutralises the race.
Yeah, and this will be an opportunity just to save some energy for these. But Wayme will have lost a little bit of his attack mode, but he won't mind that too much. It saves him all that time of having to consume the energy. And then, like, almost going into, it's almost like driving on the motorway, these drivers, with the way that they're going side by side with each other. I cannot wait for the full course yellow to go away, and then we start seeing drivers getting their elbows out as we go green flag.
Barnard and Roland were quite close together. Radio.
The left-hand side at the T19 section.
So go to the left-hand side through the portiers, through the section as well. Took us in and Tom, because it got messy quite quickly.
Yeah, so we're going to see a purple car of a Porsche. In fact, he got squeezed. He got squeezed, did DaCosta, by looks at one of the Mahindras. It might have been Eduardo Mortara that he came together with. So there we see Tictum go through one of the Jaguars. And yeah, in fact, it's a concertina. It's a concertina between Beckman, Mortara, and DaCosta at the final turn.
Mortara just literally pushed me into the wall.
Yeah, but I agree with you. Look, because Mortara's gone for the move and DaCosta was there, and it literally, that Marshall got the fright of his life as well.
He did. And that was totally inflicted by Mortara, just going for a move that wasn't quite there, and he took DaCosta with him.
So full course yellow, huge lap times lead for track limits. So this is a full course yellow. By the way, this still counts to added laps, anywhere between 0 and 4 minutes and 14 seconds. No added laps. Between 4 minutes 15 and 8 minutes 29, we'll have one added lap. We're currently at 1:46 on that clock. And that clock does not reset after every safety car. It continues. So from the minute the full course yellow comes out, goes in, if there's another safety car or anything like that, it will continue. That is into the pit lane for Zane Maloney.
Yeah. We're going to see a replay again. This is from the same angle as before. That's Mortara going for a move on Beckman, and DaCosta just he tried to avoid it, but there just wasn't enough room. I would expect an investigation being made by the stewards on Mortara, because I think he will probably take responsibility. Someone's without a front wing further back. Yeah. I didn't quite see. It might have been Maloney. I wonder if it might have been Maloney that was without a front wing, hence why he came in. But there we see DaCosta coming in and saying, go on.
Damage to the rear. They're waiting. They're waiting. They're going to replace a tyre. Full course yellow shifts the boost charge window as well, we're being told. So they were waiting for permission to change the tyre. Okay. Yeah, that wasn't. I don't think DaCosta can take much thing from that. He went on the inside too. No sign of a safety car yet. They can hand this to the full course yellow. This is on board with Beckman then. So let's see what he did. Goes to the inside. He's got Mortara look on the outside. And then Mortara's cut to the inside line. He turns in. And just Mortara barges on the inside, and then DaCosta barges on the inside as well.
Yeah, and that'll have hurt the front wing. Parts of the front wing went off Beckman's car as Maloney rejoins the race, albeit down in last place now. And he'll have some time to just save some energy for later on. Now, what will the drivers be thinking at this point? Because there's actually quite a bit of gap between Roland and De Vries, which will help Roland for when he needs to take attack mode.
I'd just like to take this hello, JT. I'd just like to take this opportunity to say congratulations to our friends and colleagues. We're also simulcasting on Formula E Zone for reaching 1,000 subscribers and monetization on the YouTube channel. Round of applause, guys. Delighted that we're a part of it with our dual broadcast across the weekend. And to all of you watching on Formula E Zone, thank you very much, and thank you for 1,000 subscribers on behalf of Jack Giamano and Jack Pickering and Ed Hunter as well, and myself. So that's going to be a delighted call later on, as the full course yellow has now been out for 4 minutes and 15 seconds, which means we will have one added lap to this race later on. Just now a 30-lap race, let's remember that. Anywhere between 4 minutes 15 and 8 minutes 29 will now be 2 laps added to the board. And Race Control have ordered them to go single file, which is something that the race director can do. That's the 3, so that is going to be somebody I've lost track of on my timing screen. It's Beckman with a broken wing. Hello, JT, go on.
Hello. Is that a new thing with the back of the car flashing yellow for full course yellow?
It is indeed, yes.
Awesome. Awesome. And basically what we learned there is that if you try to go 3 wide through the final corner at Monaco, which we already knew doesn't work. Why?
It's Formula E. I'm just putting...
This goes back to what I was saying. There was a front wing that had gone from one of the... Was it one of the Maseratis that front wing had gone missing?
Yes. We couldn't work out who it was.
There's more debris there, so Marshall will need to go and pick that debris up before someone runs over it. And you can see Mortara's front wing is damaged. Beckman, we know his front wing is damaged. So yeah, it is one of the Maseratis that is without a front wing to his wagon. Let's look to see whether it's JQ.
5 is the number?
It's JQ's. Yeah, it's JQ's who's without a front wing in the Maserati. That'll be him. I think when he does come in for boost, they'll put the front wing on.
That's a good thing. They can actually do that as well. They can put it out and change it. So it's lap 11 of 29. Full course yellow's been out for 6 minutes and 11 seconds. Do you reckon they should have put the safety car out if they knew that it was going to take this long? They would have safety carred it.
It saves them having to wait until the end of the lap though, whereas anywhere else around the circuit they can just
here we go.
Deactivate it.
We're still looking mid-track.
Okay.
Still looking mid-track, but it's been changed quite a bit based on the consumption.
Full course yellow ending in 5, 4, 3, 2.
So full course yellow.
And we are green. 6 minutes and 40 seconds. And look at the jump that Dennis got. He caught them all napping. Dennis jumps ahead of Verline and De Vries and goes into 3rd place. Barnard on Roland as we head down through Casino Square in towards Mirabeau. The race resumes 6 minutes and 40 seconds under the first version of that yellow flag. And now on the outside, we see already one Maserati trying to have another as part of the front wing flies off at the hairpin. The race is restarted.
It has, and just watch out for JQ's who's not got a front wing to his wagon. It may hurt his downforce performance. And you just see that has to be Lucas Di Grassi, who is now in attack mode, going for it on Jean-Eric Verne. And you see Bird go through ahead of Stoffel Van Dorn as well into 15th. And yeah, Jake Dennis caught De Vries and Verline napping at the top of Massenet before getting by. And you can see all over the back of Roland and Barnard very, very quickly.
Oh, someone was very wide coming through to back. I couldn't quite see who it was on the monitor, but they brushed the barrier. Barnard's gone late. Roland down to the inside line. Barnard's forced off the track from Roland. Now, will he have to get that place back, or will he claim that Roland forced him off? Either way, now here comes Jake Dennis on the attack. De Grassi's taken 4 minutes of attack mode.
They're coming out with dancing nose then. Here comes Barnard and Roland. Will the stewards intervene and say to Barnard that he gained an advantage, or he kept hold of the position by going off the circuit? We should expect to see some drivers go for attack mode on this lap. We know Barnard won't, but what about the likes of Verline, Cassidy, Tictum and all that?
So Barnard leads, Roland 2nd, Dennis 3rd. Barnard should have gone for attack mode there. He's played an opportunity not to do so. Dennis under investigation, overspeed under the full course yellow as Cassidy dives up the inside of Tictum, coming through Mirabeau, down to Fairmont Hairpin. The crunching of carbon fibre underneath the brakes as well as Tictum slides into the sides as Cassidy gets ahead of him, and now Evans joins in for 8th place. Friends just behind as well. Fascinating racing here at Monte Carlo.
Brilliant racing all round. Barnard holding on ahead of Roland. Roland going for it into the Nivelle chicane. On the inside of Barnard goes Oliver Roland. Does he make it? Barnard overshoots the chicane and keeps hold of the place again.
He's going to have to give him through. He's going to have to lead him through, and he's done so. This time, there's no ifs or buts. Roland had the lead in that one. He was ahead of the apex. Barnard lets him through. Roland takes the lead. Will he lead a lap, though? That's different. Dennis on the back as well, coming through the swimming pool chicane. Cassidy, Tictum, Evans all fighting behind. And there, Dennis round the outside of Barnard. Coming into Raskas, Roland's lifting off, Barnard keeps 2nd, and this is absolute pandemonium as they come over the line once more. They're all waiting for pit boost to attack. Fantastic racing. Roland leads a lap. Dennis trying to go on the outside. Cuts back to the inside. Barnard shuts him off, but locks up. And that's going to hurt him on Beaurivage.
Yeah, up they go again. Will any of them go for attack mode this time? Dennis absolutely fancying it, clearly using some of his energy to attack Barnard, but Barnard is focusing more on trying to get back ahead of Roland. Through Casino Square they come, and it doesn't seem to be like anyone's gone through attack mode from the pictures.
No,
they are carrying on as they are doing, and it's a sequence of cars going through Mirabeau and Vermont Hairpin. But what brilliant racing we've had here so far.
This is pandemonium. What a great racing. Degrassi's passed Beckman, by the way, as well, for 11th position. Barnard's had his lap time deleted for that track limits down at the Nouvelle Chicane. On board with Dennis. He's got in the traction. He's got the slipstream down into the braking zone. But the thing is, Roland's going defensive. Barnard wanted to move. The camera breaks up. Dennis can't get through. Roland's jumping over the curbs through the chicane as we head down towards to back once more. And let's take a look at Dennis. This was his view on the overspeed under the yellow. Is this why he got such a great restart? Did he jump it?
It looks like he has. Did you see the yellow flight there? Does he accelerate before the yellow lights on the rear end of the car in front of him go away? I think he probably overspeeds. I don't know.
Close.
There's actually a yellow flag. There was actually still a yellow flag being waved by the marshals. That's probably what the stewards are judging that on. Did he go too soon? Cassie in the pits.
Now, is this for attack mode? It is open if he's below 60% of energy. Mandatory one stop per driver. 600 kilowatts energy boost is 10% extra energy in 30 seconds. A total added of 3.85 kilowatts of power in the pit boost, and it is pit boost for Cassidy. So Cassidy pits for pit boost. You can see on your monitor the little lightning bolt that tells us when pit boost has been taken, and it's now available. It's a long charge being charged with the green bar. NATO takes 4 minutes of attack mode. So does Robin Frines, and De Vries under attack, and that is Mitch Evans slowing. Mitch Evans slowing, and he's gone all the way back. Something's happened. Something's happened, and Evans has stopped at turn 7. Evans has stopped at the exit. Go on, Tom.
Yeah, it looks like he's had a whack against the barrier as Evans. I wonder if he's had a puncture from somewhere. It looks like Buemi's dropped down the order as well.
Yeah,
don't know what's happened to Buemi.
Yeah, he's in trouble. He's slow out of the tunnel coming in. I wonder if them two have made contact. They were running together. This might have to be another safety car at this point. Evans is stopped at the exit of Portier 1 on the entry to Portier 2. He's coasting down while the camera's going through a cycle of its own. Never mind us. And again, now is your time to pit. Full course yellow is back out, guys. Full course yellow again. Can Barnard get in? But if they pit, it's going to be a disadvantage. Through we go.
3, 2, 1, full course yellow.
So we start the clock again as the full course yellow comes out. And Barnard leads! Barnard leads! Ronan lifted to the line! Now did Barnard go up too fast and has not respected it? So Barnard has retaken the lead of the race, according to our monitor.
Well, we'll get a replay of that in a moment. We're just waiting to see if the marshals can push Evans out of the way. There is the Mahindra, or the Andretti, I should say, that's in the pits. That has to be. I'm looking to see who that is that's just come in there. I can't see on the graphic. It must be Muller. I think Muller. It must be Nico Muller. It's just come back into the pits again, this time for the pit boot.
Look.
But yeah, I wonder. Go on, Josh.
Barnard's leading. Ronan lifted, and Barnard's retaken the lead.
His pit box.
And hang on a minute. Buemi's not in his pit box. Buemi's gone too far. Buemi's gone too far in the pit box. Well, this is all going nuts. As out goes Muller.
5, 4, 3, 2,
getaway.
And 1 more minute spent under. We're back to racing, and Barnard now is your race leader again, from Roland in second. Dennis is third, and Roland's taken 4 minutes of attack mode. So I wonder if that was strategic to try and minimise the gap and surprise Barnard. That's 3D chess that Roland could have been playing there if he just let Barnard go through just a fraction before the time. Yeah, it could be crucial. Muller and Cassidy have taken their pit boost. It's available for Tincton and for Barnard and for Dennis. In fact, it's flashing up on everybody now, Tom.
Yeah, and I have to say, Roland's played that perfectly, and I suppose him letting Barnard through on the pit straight could prove to be a blessing, because now he's saved himself from needing to take another attack mode from later on. But you can see Barnard now, he's got to think about when he's going to come in for that pit boost. Virtually everyone is now eligible to come in for a pit boost. They will be below 60% Barnard Team Radio.
Pit window colour question.
Pit window question. Will he dive in this lap? No. Roland looking on the inside. Dan Anthony knows. Can't get through. Under investigation for driving standards is De Vries. Barnard's lifted off. And Roland goes over the line and takes the lead of the race.
Now, Barnard's got to play this one strategically. He's got Dennis behind him, but he's got to decide when he's going to go for the attack mode. We've just seen Robin Fiennes look to the outside of Pascal Verlaine into Massenet.
Did he get him? I can't quite tell. I think he did. Fiennes with that attack mode might have just gone ahead. No, well, hang on a minute. Yeah, De Vries has taken attack mode. He's taken 4 more minutes. That's his last one. So, and then further 4 minutes for Verlaine and for Ticktum. Gunther takes 4. There's Mortara. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go now! Van Dorn's got a few seconds left on his charge. Vern's in 2 to the pit lane. Van Dorn can go now. And Van Dorn's not going! Van Dorn's not going! Has he? Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Sorry, that's the wrong image. We've zoomed in on there. Van Dorn has left, and there goes Vern.
Yeah.
Van
Dorn rejoining behind. Mortara then, as does Vern. Evans, we believe to have stopped. I don't know if he's actually got going again as Evans. I don't think he has from the last we saw of him. But Roland's in the lead now with his attack mode still there. He has got one more he still needs to take before this race is over. He's got to use all of the attack mode. He can't just go for the attack mode on the last lap and then get over the line with like 3 minutes still of attack mode remaining. You've got to take all of it. Barnard Team Radio again.
He's boxing. Barnard in, so that's Roland De Vries, Verlaine, Ticktum, now the leaders of the race, and they've all taken their attack modes now. Into the pits comes Taylor Barnard and Robin Fiennes. They come in together. But that's Sam Bird. Is it? No, that's Barnard still.
Yeah, it's Barnard. It's Barnard that's in.
Looks like
you
an
can
8
see the
5.
rechargeable graphic on the timing tower. Him, Dennis and Fiennes all in. And someone else is in as well. Norman Nato is in for the Nissan team. I'm just waiting for Barnard to be given the go-ahead here. It should be a few seconds away, or he's 10 seconds away now. But Dennis is earlier in the box compared to Barnard, so I think Barnard should be able to retain track position ahead of him.
And Roland's going to get a full lap here. That's how long it takes to recharge the cars as they come through. So there goes Fiennes as well. He gets released. Barnard ahead of Dennis. How's that happen, considering that Dennis... Is that Nato? Oh, no, that's Dennis. How did Barnard get ahead of Dennis? Dennis was in there first recharging before. And got this past to Grassi on that one as well. But yeah, Dennis. Yeah, Barnard's past Dennis. I don't know how that wasn't possible.
Dennis's garage was sooner than Barnard's. Barnard's garage is further down the pit lane, Josh. That's why Dennis got out of his box. Yeah, that explains why. But you just see the Envision dropping back a little bit. That'll be Mortara getting in front of Fiennes now for 16th position on circuit. What does Roland do? Does he box in at the end of the circuit? No, he stays out there.
Bad idea. He'd run out of attack mode perfectly. He could have boxed in and taken it. Look, you see the flashing red lights telling him he's out of attack mode, but also this is his last attempt to pit in the next few laps as well. Sliding through at Saint-Devant, up Beaurivage. Roland leads at the moment from De Vries, Verlaine, Ticktum, Gunther, to Grassi's going down to the pit lane.
What's yellow for Mitch Evans? What was the issue?
Well, we need to get to the bottom. It looks like we've had a cut in the powertrain, which has been recycled. It's fine again. We don't know why Mitch couldn't basically get the car going again, but it is now. So just really unfortunate. And unfortunately, that timing really hurt us with Nick because he took his attack mode. He was in a great position, had a drive his life up to that 6th position, was in a really strong place. And unfortunately, that yellow flag which we caused has just really hurt Nick. So it's brutal. It's brutal.
I have eyes peeled for the rest of the race. Thanks, James. Thanks.
Saunders CB there as well as Muller pitted under the full course yellow. He's gained massively now, Tom, on that monitor situation, so he can go a lot further in this race. So Muller, effectively the net leader of the race in 10th.
Yeah, he's already pitted twice in this one for the pit, but one for a change of tyre in the opening few laps. He's got a good chance of getting some points out of this. He's still yet to take his attack mode, though, has Nico Muller. But he's got a great chance now, a much greater chance of getting some points out of this. And now we are seeing the leaders coming around here. Who does pit? Well, they've all got to pit in this up, don't they?
Muller is 10 seconds ahead of Buemi. So Muller has become the net leader of this race. Despite pitting on the lap 1 for a new rear tyre, he got benefited by the pit boost under full course yellow. The swings and roundabouts of Monaco, eh? Into the pits
Yeah,
comes the race leader, and De Vries, and Tinkton. And in as well comes Degrassi. They're all coming in. So Beckman now leads from Hughes.
Those two are still yet to take their pit boost, though. So we should expect to see Nico Muller ahead of Nick De Vries here, who's just finishing his stop here. There is Muller coming round the last corner now. Does he get ahead of everyone here that's just in the pits? The answer is yes, he's through.
So Muller, massively, as Roland gets released, Muller is your net race leader. Well, his day's going from surprise to surprise, as that's Barnard and Dennis, and then Vernon and then two, as they fly through. So De Vries, Roland coming through. Oh, and this is what I was fearing might happen. The Constantine at the end of the pit lane with cars coming out, and the way it feeds back in. Up by Ravage, you've got cars coming out side by side. That's Mortara side by side as well with, well, Tinkton coming out there too, and also Van Dorn, who was pitted a few laps ago.
No, it was Verline. He was going side by side with was Mortara, and he's doing so. 9th position. Dennis is still in attack mode as we speak. He is behind Barnard. He's desperate to get through. Damage on the DS Penske car there. That has to be Max Gunter, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's got rammed into somewhere. Let's hear from Nico Muller.
We can save more. Nico, we can save more.
Yeah, saving more energy. Save it, save it, save it. That's another fact you've got to keep in as well. He can afford this time. Beckman dives into the pit lane to charge for pit boost, as so does Hughes. Pit boost coming into effect now. So Nico Muller will become the net leader of this race. I've lost track over this one, but Muller becomes the leader of the race.
We wouldn't have been so earlier. Where did Muller in their grid positions up at the moment? He started in 14th. He started 14th on the grid, dropped back with that tyre change, came in again for pit boost, and now he's the net race leader.
Mitch Evans in Monaco, Mitch Evans in Sao Paulo, back to front. Now we're seeing Muller doing exactly the same here. This is absolute insanity. So this is, I believe, everybody bar Evans has completed their pit boosters. We now see Muller take 4 minutes of attack mode, so he's going 4 and 4. Cassidy is second, and he is in the net of this race as well. So those who pitted under full course gain massively.
Position back. Okay, under consumption, target needs to be 5.1. Confirm, we need to achieve target 5.1.
So they've got a lift and coast on that one as well. So Muller leads, Cassidy, Roland, De Vries, Dennis, Barnard, Mortara, Verline, Tinkton, Frines, Gunther, Vern, Van Dorn, Nato, Degrassi, Beckman, Bird, Hughes, Evans in the pit lane now, so he'll drop behind Maloney, Bohemian, DeCosta's out of the race, but Muller is the net leader of the race. He's got 1.2 seconds to Cassidy, who's now with that full course yellow pitting. He too has jumped ahead of the field, and Barnard and Roland now costing them. De Vries up to 4th, Dennis in 5th, but both under investigation. We've got De Vries under investigation for driving standards, and Dennis under investigation for jumping the restart on the first full course yellow. Radio Muller.
Copy. So 5.1 for the attack mode laps, or you have to get the overall target down?
The overall target down to 5.1. Overall target down to 5.1.
Wow. That's a big ask to get that target consumption down. But if anyone can do it, it's going to be Nico Muller. Right now we stand at having one added lap to the race as we were inside the 8 minutes 29 cut-off of the second lap. So far it's just going to be an extra lap that you have to note for. Incident between De Vries and Tinkton has been noted by the stewards as we now watch Cassidy right on the back of Muller as we come through down into Fairmont Hairpin, into Portier, and this for the lead of the race again.
It's game on still, even though Muller may have the advantage. He is got Nick Cassidy all over the back of him, who needs this result. Both need good results really from this, so we wouldn't have thought that Cassidy would be on the tail for the race lead. If we have a look at where he's another one. He started 19th. So we've got the drivers who started 14th and 19th on the grid, ranking 1st and 2nd in this Monaco E-Prix.
This is absolute insanity. Monaco again delivering his Muller again.
Are we virtually racing other car?
Yeah, we are racing all the cars. I will update you. Currently, we are P1. Cassidy is right behind you.
Well, what's happened to Cassidy?
To defend position.
But look at Cassidy's energy. Is that correct? 26% for Cassidy. Are we sure about that? That's 25. Yeah, it is. Well, Cassidy. Well, why not? Why run him? Why run him? Degrassi's under investigation for an unsafe release. But why? Cassidy's going to run out of energy way before the end of the race.
Well, someone needs to tell him, unless he's used both of his attack modes already, Josh, he's in trouble. He's going to be in massive trouble in the closing laps if he keeps consuming energy the way he has been. Muller has every reason to have the advantage right now, but he won't want to give up track position to Cassidy because he still needs to take that attack mode, but he won't want to do it yet. But no, that is, who's that's just gone through attack mode there? Is that DeFries?
Yeah, and Verline's just taken 4, so both DeFries and Verline take their last attack mode at 4. Gunther's taken his as well, that was at 4, so he's now on it. Beckman takes 4 as well. So if we're eliminating Cassidy from this equation, who only has 25% of energy left, with the rest on 33, 34, that now puts Muller completely in control of the race. And Roland's passed Cassidy. Roland's passed Cassidy. Cassidy's dropped back by 2.6 seconds. I don't think they knew, Tom. I don't think they knew how low their energy was. Jaguar, who said that they had problems, they've got major ones now. Cassidy's fallen down to 3rd. He's been told to save like mad. I genuinely don't think they knew.
Well, he's used most of his attack modes, answering my own question from earlier, but the problem seems to be bigger now. It's a complete miscalculation, or just simply a misinformation of what they had in terms of the energy usage. And Cassidy, well, he's a sitting duck for the remainder of this.
Roland, 5 seconds. We need to stay 2.5 seconds ahead of Roland, and we will concatenate attack. Currently 4.3 with Roland.
The gap is...
Roland.
The gap's currently 1.3. Roland's reeling him in at the moment. So Muller can push now. He's got the same energy. I don't know why he's not. Side by side at Beau Rivage, though. Mortara. Yeah. Moving ahead. That's DeFries passing Cassidy as Muller takes attack mode now. Roland's there. But Muller's got attack mode. Roland doesn't.
Yep.
Muller should be fine.
Yeah, he had to do it.
This race is so hard to follow.
Yeah, he had to do that, Josh, because Roland was closing him down all the time. And there was one moment for him to take the attack mode. That was the moment, and he did that perfectly. Now if he can start pulling away, really, from Roland without consuming too much energy, he doesn't want to do what Cassidy did earlier by consuming too much energy too soon. Cassidy's down in 4th place then, with 5 drivers who are currently in attack mode.
DeFries under investigation for driving standards, no further action. So DeFries has held up that, he's got away with it for now. Muller now 0.3 ahead of Roland, so now that advantage that was 10 seconds earlier on in the race, he's lifted off. He's got that gap. I reckon he's got it, but look at Roland. He's practically pushing Muller through the swimming pool section as well. Even though Muller's on attack mode, he's having to save energy. It's going to be lap 24. How's it going to happen now? Let's look at DeFries trying to grab the outside into Raskas. Roland's on the inside, trying to have a go at Muller, and now DeFries gets a great exit coming over the line. Roland's a sitting duck. DeFries with attack mode goes right round the outside and takes 2nd position. Roland's a sitting duck, and here comes Jake Dennis. He's got it too. So it's Verline, Barnard and Mortara. So it's going to become an all-star race right now as we head up Beau Rivage, and Verline looking to the inside of Cassidy. And he's through.
Yeah, I think Verline's through on Cassidy, but you're just looking at DeFries on Muller all the time. I wonder if Roland may decide to take his attack mode now, because he's going to end up being a sitting duck to the drivers behind. You can see the field scattering around to find track position. Cassidy down to 6th place behind Pascal Verline, but he's back ahead of it.
Contact! Something's wrong! There it is! Into the wall goes Taylor Barnard! Gets launched in by Cassidy and Mortara together! And now can Barnard reverse as Nick DeFries is going for a move? He's going for Muller on the outside line into the Nouvelle chicane, and DeFries leads in Monaco, where he won all those years ago in Formula 2. Wow! It changes every second here. Every split second. It changes the complexion of the race. Fantastic.
DeFries is going to be out of attack mode though, Josh, which will give Muller the advantage for the next lap to get back through ahead of him. This race is very much coming alive. But he's got to watch for Jake Dennis as well. Dennis was one of the early pitters. Muller was one of those two. Well, he was one of the early ones, wasn't he? He's like Dennis through.
Dennis through, yeah. I think that was a team order. Roger Griffiths looks like that was planned. Dennis has got more oomph, and he's already on the back of De Vries, up Beau Rivage, in towards Massenet. De Vries now, I haven't even given up on the race control. Barnard and Verline's under investigation. Here's Roland.
Both cars ahead, one more lap.
Update on incident, update on incident.
Track clear, let's open the gap and go. Track clear.
Yeah, it's under investigation. Roland's taken 4 minutes of attack mode, so he's dropped behind, that's why. So here's turn 6 coming through. Hold your breath, everybody. Lap 25 and 29. We're going to have at least one more added lap. It'll be a 30-lap race here in Monte Carlo. And it has been anything but a bust. It's been more of a bust up between the drivers as Verline's gone back into Cassidy. And now Dennis all over the back of De Vries into the Nouvelle chicane. He can't find a way through, but he's running out of time. To back is the last option for Dennis to get ahead of De Vries, and he knows it. De Vries pushing towards the wall. Dennis tries to swing around the outside. It's not going to work through to back into the swimming pool section. Maybe into La Rascasse if he can get enough traction. Into swimming pool number 2. Nothing there. 6 seconds left. Time running out. Dennis sends it to the outside. He knows he's there. De Vries can't defend it. It's the comeback he's looking for. De Vries shuts the door. Dennis is going to leave himself for the outside line. Through Anthony Nose. Down now to the start-finish straight. Roland's got ahead of Muller as well. Meantime, they're side by side as they come over the line. So Roland's back to 3rd, Muller to 4th. Dennis stays 2nd. De Vries leads. Wow! Oh, and they've swapped back. Roland's got the exit power. Dennis forces him up by Rivage, and through goes Roland. Wow!
Amazing, amazing, amazing moves from Oliver Rowland. Bravery there. And surely he's going to get Vries in a moment. He's played it strategically brilliantly, has Oliver Rowland. It looks like it was all lost from him. But no, he's still got the attack mode to his advantage, and he's got De Vries right ahead. And yeah, what a race it has been so far. And it's just a matter of time before Rowland gets through. He will get past De Vries. It's just a matter of when here, Josh.
After the misery of Miami, when we were questioning what Formula E was truly about, Monaco's magic delivers once more as we now get to see Roland go to the inside of the tunnel and round the outside, and Roland leads in Monaco. Superb! Superb! And now we're going to see De Vries back on the attack. Dennis.
Nico to get his elbows out.
Yeah, copy. And that's what we were saying.
That's Muller. Needs to get him on the attack as well. Van Dorn's moving up the order, but we're running out of laps, and now pretty soon, Tom, it's going to be just who's got the faster car, because Roland's going to run out of attack mode next lap.
Yep, and he's got to be careful not to consume too much energy.
Dennis has been given a 5-second penalty for overspeeding. So Muller needs to defend now for Mortara as we have an extra lap added, so it's 4 laps to go. Loving this.
If I was Andretti, if I was Andretti, I'd consider swapping Dennis and Muller now, because Muller has got more energy in him, and if you can start closing on Roland and De Vries, they've both got less energy than what Muller has. And that could be an opportunity for Muller to sneak past. And Roland, well, he's got to be careful whilst being in attack mode so he doesn't consume too much energy in these remaining 4 laps.
Oh, and is that the move? No, that's Mortara having a go. With Verline trying to look right behind him, and there's Muller. Muller's dropped back, though. Attack mode's coming through. Vern with 2, Degrassi with 4. Hughes taking 6 as well. Evans on 6. And Degrassi's dropped down into 16th because of it. So he lost a lot of track position there.
Yeah, I wonder if Muller's backing up the field to give Dennis the 5 seconds in hand to keep hold of the podium position, because he knows that Dennis is the one that's in the fight for the championship, not Muller.
If it was Formula 1 here, that might work. Formula E, I don't think it will. There's an opportunity to overtake at every part of the circuit here as they come through. Dennis now will attack De Vries, but Roland is now out of attack mode. He's got 2.1 seconds advantage over De Vries. Is Ollie Roland going to take it, or are we going to see De Vries start to close back up? Now, Roland's out of attack mode. The hands of Roger Griffiths are shaking right now as he watches to see what the Andretti team can do. Now, Roland leads, De Vries second, Dennis and Muller 3rd and 4th. 3 laps to go.
Not long left in the race then. We're just seeing moves happening left, right, and so this battle for 4th place between Nico Muller, Eduardo Mortara, and Pascal Valentin Radio Roland.
You can reduce the duty cycle of the gearbox, so you manage the gap behind, you have the same suck, 3 laps.
Basically, lift and coast, boys, lift and coast. Bohemian's got ahead of Zane Maloney for what it's worth right now, as Verline desperately tries to get through on Mortar into Mirabeau, down to Fairmont Hairpin. Nothing there. Muller's lifting them all up. It's 3.4 seconds at the moment, the gap between Dennis and Muller. It needs to be 5, remember, so it's possible. It is possible to keep Dennis's podium. Muller deserves a medal for that one. Oh, Degrassi's no further action on the unsafe release. Go on, Tom.
Yeah, and you've just seen the top 3 go, well, the 3 cars battling for 4th place heading through the tunnel. Muller doing all he can. It's still 3.3 seconds, now 3.9. Yeah, you just see going through the Neufeld chicane was a golden opportunity for him to back them up, and he's done so, has Muller. So Dennis has nearly got the 5 seconds on Muller right now.
Roland's pulled out as well, 1.6 to De Vries, so that's closed that one down. Into Raskas we come. Don't forget, we're going to do this all over again tomorrow as well. The action holds no bounds at Monaco as we come over the line. 2 laps remain here at the Principality Race 1 of Monaco. Give me this every day of the week. What a race. Tomorrow it's going to be flat out as well.
Yeah, flat out as well. Now we've had the intervention with the full course yellow, but we've not had any safety cars coming out onto the circuit. We've seen some phenomenal racing here informally around the streets of Monte Carlo. As first hosted racing in 1929, and we are seeing some fantastic action involved in this championship. It's one of the few series that put on some really good racing around these particular streets nowadays.
If anything, Formula E deserves to be at Monaco more than Formula 1. The action they give us, if that switch was made permanent, I don't think many people would complain. Monaco is literally built for this type of racing. Wheel to wheel between the barriers. And now we're going to see Verline having an attack on Mortara down to the Nouvelle chicane. Tepri literally lines up, Mortara goes defensive. Here's your race lead, and De Vries starts to close back in on Roland. Roland's having to lift up, he's not going to make it another lap.
Gap 5.2, De Vries playing the same game with Mortara.
Yes, he is, yeah. So I don't know if Roland's going to be able to hold off De Vries this time by. He's regenerating enough energy. For one more lap, it is possible. 4%, it should be okay. I'd be more worried about De Vries holding off Dennis, really. But either way, this looks like to be your podium.
They were all on 3 at the beginning of this last lap. It should be enough, but just keep an eye on that, Josh, because there could be some drivers. I mean, Muller may have to continue backing the field off, just allow Dennis to keep hold of the final podium position.
How on earth are we going to keep on going with this? I can't even remember what's next up in the commentary box. It's all pandemonium at the moment. I think we get like an hour before we're on for Formula 1. just inject it into my veins. This race day has been spectacular. The music is building, the tension is rising. We know Dennis has that penalty. He's so far secured in 3rd position, but the battle for the race win is not over yet. Roland and Dennis could hold it together. Roland, who crashed into the barrier in the qualifying final duel, has made redemption here in Monaco. Down into the Nouvelle chicane. The gap now 1.7. De Vries is losing out. De Vries just told to bring it home. That's a leave Roland to it. The gap's at 0.9, now 1%. Muller's still got 4. He's master saved it for tomorrow. I wonder what he's going to play. But for Oliver Roland, it has been redemption in Monaco. It has been a masterclass of overtaking and defending. Nissan are going to do it once again. The Brits will win on the road of Monaco. Oliver Roland wins the first race of the weekend of the Principality. Roland rolls the dice and wins on the streets of Monte Carlo. De Vries is 2nd. Dennis is 3rd. Muller will come home for a superb 4th. No, Mortara got him on the line. Mortara got him on the line. Mortara 4th. Muller 5th. Verline in 6th. Ticktum, Freins, Van Dorn and Gunther points finishes in the top 10. He got him on the line, but Roland wins in Monaco.
Good job, guys. Shall we do it?
Tom, they're delighted here. What a race.
What a race indeed. Race win number 3 of the campaign for Oliver Rowland. And what a day he'll be celebrating longer tonight, but he doesn't have long to celebrate because there is another race coming up tomorrow.
Yep.
But let's not take him away from his performance. And yeah, we'll get some team radio in a moment. But what a race from Rowland. Good drive from De Vries and Dennis as well to get up to second and third. Muller lost out to Montoro at the end, but that is a very, very huge result for the Nissan team.
Gunther's under investigation for gaining an advantage off tracks. That must be down at the Nouvelle chicane, and he's got damage to the car as well. Let's have a word with Rowland.
There was some strange noise coming from the back of the car, and I had
That's Degrassi.
A gearbox warning the whole race that was getting worse. So yeah, I'm pretty relieved to make it to the end, but yeah, thank you.
You're once again proving to be the tactical master. How did the strategy work out for you? Early attack mode, unlike the others. Did it work out the way you hoped?
Yeah, we were a little bit doubting ourselves on the grid with what we did, but I think the later one worked pretty well just because obviously the risk of, yellow and stuff like that, but yeah, I think we nailed the strategy today, and big credit to the team.
Right, you're a Monaco winner here in Formula E. Enjoy the podium.
Thank you, Garen, thank you.
Degrassi stopped, so Zane Maloney. Degrassi stopped at Beau Rivage, Maloney stopped at the top of Mirabeau. Wow, I didn't expect that. We'll see if that changes soon. So Degrassi has come to a stop. Tom, I'm going to let you dive off. We'll get ready for Academy qualifying. What did you make of the Monaco EPrix?
It was a super race, brilliant drive from Rowland, really well played. I did tip him to become champion this season, and I'm still going to. That was a phenomenal drive. It's difficult to look past him, isn't it?
It really, really is. Thanks, Tom. We'll see you shortly as well. We'll let Tom disappear and head off to F1 Academy alongside JT. Let's head down to the world feed.
25, he won in Mexico, he won race 2 in Jeddah, and he wins race 1 here in Monaco. What a performance for the blue-eyed boy from Barnsley. Absolutely superb. Great job.
And let's pick in JT then and get his thoughts. I thought you needed to go, mate. Hello. You're muted. Hello. How did you find that one then? No, still can't. Oh, there you go. Hello.
Yeah, do not question how the hell I predicted Oliver Rowland to win.
I did it too. I think that was my pick of winner in grid. Well, I'm surprised. What about you?
Yeah. Yeah, I just put my camera on to just say hi to you, but hello everyone else as well.
Well, I'll throw you under the bus. It makes more sense.
Go on.
Well, I'm speechless after that one. It was sheer brilliance in my book. But do tell me, thoughts going into tomorrow, because you've been watching that one. That was chaos. That was good Monaco.
That was good Monaco. Although the first full course yellow, I went downstairs to go and get an egg and bacon sandwich, and then I came up to absolute 3 wide carnage at the final corner, because why does anyone decide going 3 wide through the final corner at Monaco is a good idea? You can't even fit 3 cars wide through it.
But it is Monaco, and anything crazy can happen.
True.
Cheers, JT. I'll let you go, because I know you've got to go and run F1 Academy on the stream as well.
Yes, I need to open OBS and get the produce and stuff all ready. So goodbye.
Goodbye. Let's head down to the world feed.
Down here at the podium. Oliver Rowland takes a very well-deserved victory. This is what it means, though, for Mahindra to get their first podium in 18 months. Great result for that team. They've gone through a lot of hardship over the last few years. In particular, if you remember season 9, they were all at sea in Gen 3, and well, they really have turned their fortunes around. And as you can imagine, they'll be absolutely delighted with that result.
When you come to spray the bubbly, don't point it to the important people.
Always important to remember etiquette here in Monaco.
Yes, well, we asked him on the grid, didn't I? I asked...
Podium for Bob then, for Jake Dennis. And I'm sure Bob is very appreciative of that wherever he is watching. Well, for Jake Dennis, he'll be... Great result for Jake Dennis. He'll be elated with that after all the struggles he went through last season. Let's go down and catch up with our winner, though, Oliver Rowland.
Our race winner, your first victory around the streets of Monte Carlo. Once again, you're the master of the strategy. Put us in the cockpit.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what to do, especially with these pit boost races. It's the second race, but we kind of had a plan. We stuck to it. It was a bit trickier to pass Taylor than I thought, to be honest. But no, look, we kept calm. Even at the end, I was pretty worried during that second attack mode. I dropped back to 5th, and I was behind 2 Mahindras, and I was like, right now we need to get cracking. But yeah, great job by the team, and very well executed.
Well, you said it was difficult to get past Taylor. He used to be in your kart team. You must have taught him too well.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I was a little bit thinking, you know, he's pushing the boundaries of the rules at some point. But yeah, fair play to him. I mean, in the end, we got the job done, so it doesn't really matter.
So this is race 1. Tomorrow you come back and do it all again, but you've maintained and extended your lead in this championship.
Yeah, absolutely. That's key. I mean, you know, we've started the season really, really well. But it feels a bit different now. Normally you would be looking forward to the champagne, but you already got one eye on tomorrow.
Yeah, no champagne until tomorrow. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Oliver Rowland. 3 wins in 6 races. His first here in Monaco. Extends the championship lead. Also, Antonio Felix da Costa, his nearest championship rival, by 14 points going into this race, non-scoring after an optimistic lunge at the final corner, which didn't pay off, resulting in an early end to his race. Let's catch up with Nick de Vries, though, his first podium since 2022.
Nick de Vries, welcome back to the podium. It's been a while for the team.
And for myself. I did know the way, but yeah, incredible day for us as a team. Honestly, I can't thank them enough. They executed a great race during the pit boost and choosing the right moments to go for it and take the attack. So honestly, a big thanks to them, and just very nice to be on this journey together. We've came from far last year, and we constantly make little steps, and it's nice to give them this reward because they really, really deserve it.
Every race has its unique challenges. Monaco, maybe more than many. What was the most challenging element of that race for you?
Oh, I consider it as an advantage, being at home, having my friends here and watching me. It's just nice to have them here and see what we accomplished today.
Well, congratulations on the podium.
Well, I'm glad that he knew his way to the podium, Nick de Vries. It has been a long time since he has stood on the rostrum in Formula E, and a very well-deserved result, not only for him, but for Mahindra Racing as well. Due to the double-header here in Monaco, not a lot of time to celebrate, though.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Very, very well executed. Thank you for being on it during the attack modes and boost charge. Well deserved, my friend.
You can see what it means there for Fred Bertrand. I was fortunate enough to have dinner with him over the winter period, and he was cautiously optimistic about their results here. Let's catch up with third place finisher Jake Dennis.
So Jake, great podium, great piece of team strategy there. You got that penalty at the restart. We saw the replay. It was incredibly close. How did you feel at the time?
Yeah, pretty stressed. I knew it was going to obviously be pretty close with that with the FCY, and yeah, sure enough, when the penalty came, I took it on the chin. But obviously, you had to have a bit of help from Nico, and ultimately the pace was strong enough to obviously to create the gap. But man, it was such a tough race. Mentally, so many different strategies going on. I honestly felt like we did most things perfect. It was obviously just a pit boost situation. Obviously, having to use the spare, and then losing around about 1 or 2 seconds with that, and then we dropped too far back. But the car has been quick all day today, and the boys really gave me a rocket ship, and to be able to fight back through and get my first podium of the season. It's been so long since Mazzano in season 10, and yeah, to repay them with a Monaco podium is always special.
So you're used to stressful races, but you say there was a lot going on in that one. What was the point where you started to feel this isn't quite playing out the way we may have thought it would?
I think it was on the first attack when we said not to take it. I probably should have taken it then, I think. But ultimately, it was a call which ended up paying in our favor in the long run, and we got the position back. But yeah, just having that pit boost situation was made our life a lot more difficult. We should have been well ahead of Nick and just doing our own race. But unfortunately, it put us back. But no, to be honest, I'm just happy to be here. We've got to do it all again tomorrow. It feels a little bit weird. But yeah, I'm confident we can stand up here and maybe try and take it to Oliver.
Congratulations on the podium and good luck for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Jake Dennis, his first podium since Misano 2024, and a very well-deserved one at that. I think he owes a huge thank you to Nico Müller in particular. Dennis had a 5-second penalty going into the final stages of the race. Nico behind him, backed the pack up, holding off the charge of Eder Mortara and Pascal Wehrlein for as long as he could, created that 5-second gap that he needed to, and it allowed Dennis to hold on to the podium. Driver of the race would certainly be a very welcome accolade there for Nico Müller, given the fact that he recovered from a puncture to come within touching distance of the podium and then play the ultimate team game afterwards. Absolutely superb. And now time for the podium celebrations to begin here in Monte Carlo. There is Tommaso Volpe talking to his number one. Not much time for these drivers to regroup and go again. 24 hours time, we'll be doing it all over. No pit boost stops in the second EPrix of the weekend here tomorrow. The first time ever that we've had a double header here this weekend in Monte Carlo for Formula E. And a very welcome addition it is to the calendar. Monaco is always spectacular, and this weekend proving to be no exception. If the race tomorrow is even half as good as that one was, we're in for an absolute treat. There are the dignitaries on the podium as Tommaso Volpe makes his way up the spiral staircase to the applause of the crowd and the officials here in the Principality. And the remaining 3 drivers also ready to take to the podium as well. Well, Tommaso Volpe will be absolutely delighted with that one, and it will close the gap down in the Teams Championship for Nissan to Porsche in particular, courtesy of Costa's non-score in that race. De Vries in second, doing great things also for Mahindra. As the drivers make their way, Jake Dennis in third place, second place there for Nick De Vries, and a third win of the Season 11 Championship for Oliver Rowland. He's on the top step for the very first time here in Monte Carlo. And now then time for the trophies to be presented. First place trophy awarded to Oliver Rowland, and he'll have that one, I'm sure, pride of place on his mantelpiece when he gets back home. He's got to do it all again in 24 hours time. Let's see how the tables will turn. Also takes the FIA medal as well, a new initiative which we saw first introduced in Miami a round ago. Absolutely imperious in circumstances such as this. He is Oliver Rowland. Second place for Nick De Vries. Mahindra's first podium since 2023. De Vries' first podium since 2022. And that's what it means for a team that have been brought back from the brink. Such a challenging few years they've had, but they've managed to turn it around. And speaking of turnarounds, what a turnaround in fortunes for Jake Dennis. A challenging car for him to drive last year, but now he finally has a car that is worthy of that third place finish here today. Time for the Teams Trophy to be presented. Of course, it is awarded to Tommaso Volpe and to Nissan for the first race here this weekend. And good to see the dignitaries on the podium having a wonderful sense of humour. And that's what it means for Tommaso Volpe and for Nissan. Their home round coming up in a fortnight in Tokyo as well. They'll be hoping to bring that momentum into that weekend. And now it is time then for the national anthems here in the Principality of Monaco. British and Japanese national anthems play out for Oliver Rowland and for Nissan here in Monaco. Tommaso Volpe beaming like a schoolchild that's just finished first at a sports day. What a wonderful start to their weekend here in Monaco. All they've got to do is the same again in 24 hours' time. Oliver Rowland won here in Formula 2 back in 2017. Nick de Vries deciding to jump up one step on the podium as well. I'm not surprised. A great result there for them. And now time for the champagne to be sprayed. So it's time for the dignitaries to take a swift leave of absence. And for anybody in the firing line, it's time to check out the local dry cleaners here in Monte Carlo. Oliver Rowland sprays the champagne on the top step for the third time in 2025.
What a fantastic race that was. There literally wasn't one bit that was dull. That was an extremely entertaining, gripping, rewarding race. I can't wait for tomorrow. Let's have a look then at your final classifications. Oliver Rowland is your winner with Nick de Vries in second and Jake Dennis third. Eduardo Mortara is fourth, Nico Muller fifth, Pascal Wehrlein sixth, Dan Ticktum seventh with Robin Friends in eighth, Stoffel van Dorn ninth, and Maximilian Gunther comes home in 10th. Sam Bird is 11th with Jean-Eric Verne in 12th, Lucas de Grassi 13th, Norman Nato 14th, David Beckman 15th with Taylor Barnard 16th, Jake Hughes 17th, Nick Cassidy is 18th, Sebastian Bromby 19th, Mitch Evans in 20th, Zane Maloney 21st, and the only official retirement is Antonio Felix da Costa finishing in 22nd position. Fast lap of the race, that went to Nick Cassidy in 18th, 1:27.846. Won't get that top 10 bonus point though. That goes, I believe, to Nick de Vries on a... Yes, oh, no, it goes to... Yeah, de Vries on a 1:28.558, who finished in second position in that one as well. Okay, so in around about 15 minutes' time, we'll also have the, fingers crossed, drivers' press conference as well, live here. But you know how that goes. It never truly works out. So if you're watching on Formula E Zone, be sure to watch the full upload later on, and we'll play it tomorrow as well in our build-up to the main race and qualifying coverage as well. Formula E Zone is the place to be, though, to see all of the behind-the-scenes, especially when there is a lot of motorsport action on this weekend. So we're gearing up then to hear what our World Feed team had to say about that one, and some analysis and some more further driver interviews. Congratulations as well to Formula E Zone on having 1,000 subscribers as well. Absolutely fantastic achievement from the team as we get ready to see what they will accomplish going forward as well. So just trying to get access here, but I don't think it's going to move me where I need to be, which is annoying. No, I don't think it is going to move me at the moment on the back channel. No, it's not. It'll take longer. So, we'll just wait a few more minutes and we'll hear from them. I'm doing my little trick as well that I've just remembered we can do because I've signed in on the laptop. Let's have a listen then and go over live to the World Feed.
Oliver Rowland celebrating down there. Lots of big names here in Monte Carlo and lots keen to enjoy the limelight, and I'm not surprised at all. Picking all the bones out of that spectacular Monaco EPrix. Tomorrow, of course, sees no pit boost in the race. Let's get confirmation, though, of the results at the end of round 6. Oliver Rowland takes his third victory of the season and increases his lead in the championship. De Vries gets his first podium since 22 and Mahindra's first since 23. Dennis back on the rostrum as well, equaling his best result here in Monaco. Mortara in 4th, Muller 5th ahead of Wehrlein, Dan Ticktum, Robin Friends, Stoffel van Dorn and Maximilian Gunther at the checkered flag. those were your point scorers here in Monaco. And a bit further down the order, Sandberg there in 11th ahead of Verne, Degrassi, Nato, Beckman. Taylor Barnard classified in 16th place. Not 100% sure if he's got a penalty or not. What happened to him at the end of that one, we'll have to wait and see. Hughes in 17th ahead of Cassidy, Buemi, and then Evans ahead of Maloney and De Costa, of course, a DNF. But a spectacular first race of the weekend here in Monte Carlo.
Well, there was one driver who really rolled the dice here in Monaco. He left it late to take that final attack mode, but wow, that strategy paid off. Oliver Rowland taking his 3rd win here in Monaco for this season, and 25 points in the bag for a Nissan. The dominance continues, guys. Quick reaction to that race, Katie. What did you make of it?
Yeah, that was a real masterclass. We've seen it from him so many times. He's amazing at saving energy, and now he just seems to be absolutely nailing the attack mode. I think it was quite close at one point when there was the brief yellow flag when Taylor hit the wall, and he said, update on the accident, guys, to see if he was going to be, you know, in the same situation again where maybe he doesn't have time to use all of his attack mode. But luckily, the yellow flag didn't stay out, and then he played absolutely perfectly to the finish line.
Exactly. So, I mean, I was shouting at the TV, like, Rowland, take your attack mode. Obviously, he didn't listen to me. James, what did you make of it?
Strategy and experience. I mean, it was perfect strategy from Oliver Rowland. He saved energy in the beginning using the slipstream behind Taylor Barnard. He made his move to the front when he had to. He knew, and he said to the team, we need to be safe, we need to take the pit charge now. Took it that lap. I mean, he really dictated that race, and he made sure that he got the top step of the podium.
Yeah, he really did deserve that win, that's for sure. Right, so let's remind ourselves of how these 22 drivers have classified here on the streets of Monaco. So Oliver Rowland, our race winner. 3 this season. Then we've got Nick De Vries from Mahindra Racing in 2nd. And then it was Andretti. Despite the 5-second penalty from Jake Dennis, he still managed to stay on the podium in 3rd. Big credit to his teammate Nico Muller for helping him. And then, of course, these are the drivers that are out of the points. But we have got so much more to play for because we'll be back here again tomorrow. Guys, also, I mean, if we look at what Mahindra have been doing, 25 points in the bag for Mahindra. Incredible.
Yeah, I think they're really happy with that, being down here at the podium and seeing the reaction from the mechanics. I think consistency is great for championships, and I think that Nick obviously did a really good race today, and he deserved to be on the podium.
Yeah, I mean, we've watched the fact that Mahindra have really progressed over the course of this season. It could be a great year for them.
It could be. I mean, they were always good in 300. They were struggling in the 350. They made it to the duels several times, but they never made it through to the quarterfinals. Today we saw that change, and I had a little word with one of their chief engineers, and he told me that they made a big software update this weekend coming into it. They were hopeful it was going to give the impact that it has done, and I think we could see them continue this for the rest of the season.
Yeah, you get all the juicy gossip, don't you? You were if you were a betting man, you would have bet on Mahindra at the start of the season, wouldn't you?
Experience.
Exactly. Right, so from pole sitter to, well, unfortunately out of the points, really pushing hard, and had a bit of an incident during the race. It was, of course, at Taylor Barnard. He's at the E-pad with Karoon.
Taylor, thank you for coming down to the pad. Let's talk about it. You started on pole, and it all started off quite well, didn't it? You got track position, got the lead?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good start. The first 5 laps or so were completely under control. I felt relatively good on energy. The tyres were quite difficult to warm up, actually. The target was fast, but the front tyres were taking a while to come in, so that was interesting.
Yeah, and then we saw this is where it started to get a bit tasty. So first, Ollie has a run at you at the second swimming pool chicane. I guess you had no space. You had to cut across there and
I mean,
position.
It's not really a place where you should overtake, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think I had space.
Yeah, and now he's having a look at the chicane. So he's tried to have a go at the chicane. You've again cut across that. At this point, we thought you were told to give up the place, but that's not the case then.
It wasn't the case. I could have fought harder, but I think this one I probably did have to give the position back.
Yeah, to be honest, I think David called it a slam dunk that you have to give the Calais back. So you sort of had telepathic message from David Coulthard in the commentary box. Now, this was a bit confusing because the full ghost yellow came out, and it seemed like you Just saying, just to highlight to people at home, on the dashboard, so that's a countdown clock, right? So if we move it along, you should see it there. It counts down. Explain to people at home what happens there.
Okay, so when the full course yellow comes out, we have to slow down to 50 kilometers or slower when the countdown is finished. Obviously, I was not speeding under the full course yellow, but I did overtake Ollie. I don't actually know what the rules are with that. As far as I'm aware, that was fine.
Right.
I definitely was not speeding.
Well, there's a limiter there. So in your book, and I guess the stewards agreed because they didn't pull you in.
In my opinion, it's fine, and I was.
So he just braked too early there.
Yeah, he was not at the limit. I don't know if that was him trying to be smart and get me a penalty, or he was just not on the limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you ended up in front, and then you know, as the race gets underway again, Oliver then takes an early attack mode. So he went for attack mode before the stop. You chose not to. Why was that? Why did you decide to wait for the attack modes to come later on?
I think on this lap I was going to box, but we have a pit window, and I was not in the window. It was really on the limit, and it was safer to stay out.
And then finally, just on the incident here, Pascal there tried to go down the outside. He didn't really give you much room, did he?
No. I don't really need to comment on it that much. I think it speaks for itself. It's unfortunate because that was going to be good points, maybe a podium. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but sometimes these things aren't in my control.
What are you looking out for in this session?
Well, listen, you were the fastest man here today in Monaco. Hopefully you have a better day tomorrow. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Brilliant stuff. Well, huge thank you there
Whilst
to Taylor
we're
Barnard,
waiting for further proceedings,
and of course we are
JB,
back again
you've joined us in the
tomorrow,
commentary
so
box.
There will be the opportunity for a bit of a redemption. Now, guys, can we just quickly talk about what Oliver Rowland did with his attack mode strategy? Because towards the end of the race, he basically went from P5 into P1, which was ultimately how he won the race.
Yeah, you could kind of see it happening in slow motion because the drivers in front of him were all roughly in attack mode at the same time, and then you could see that he had the opportunity to leave it till later. It was a riskier strategy, I think, because if there'd been a safety car when Taylor was in the wall, but he had the confidence to do it, and he knew what he was doing. He obviously asked what that situation was, but Taylor reversed out of the wall, so yeah, I don't want to say lucky because he didn't get lucky. He planned it, and he didn't follow the same attack mode as the others, left it a little bit later, a little bit more on the line, and it really paid off.
Yeah, so lots of celebrations in the Nissan garage there. But we cannot forget to mention what happened in the Jaguar garage. We're standing right in front of them at the moment. Mitch Evans obviously massively losing out there, DC.
Yeah, look, it's what works for one doesn't work for the other. That's the nature of when you have got a race like this, throw in a couple of full course yellows. And then it's the roll of the dice, isn't it? And then, you know, the situation clearly hasn't worked out well for them. We were just talking off air. Tell you who has worked out for is the spares guy, because there's so many damaged noses up and down this pit lane that even if you're not winning the race, they're winning in parts department.
They all need a new one for tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
James, I'd love to get your thoughts on the Andretti strategy. We saw Jake Dennis obviously got that 5-second penalty for overspeeding under the full course yellow. How much credit does he need to give to Nico Müller for securing his podium?
I think it shows the importance of team strategy and having a good teammate. I mean, Nico there, he slowed down, he knew how to get his elbows out, and he knew he had to grow that 5-second gap in order for the team to maximise their points. So great teamwork from him, really, really nice to see. And also, it was a great race from him. I mean, 14th he started, and he made it so far into the top 5. So I think that was a really smart move from Nico.
Wow, well, full credit to the team there. So lots going on. Let's take a look at how the championship standings look at the end of round 6. So Oliver Rowland there, 25 points in the bag. He has got a nice gap between himself and Pascal Wehrlein down in second. Antonio Felix da Costa there, joint on points with Taylor Barnard in third. Then we've got Nick De Vries, Jake Dennis, Eduardo Mortara, Max Günther, all gaining points again. Jake Hughes drops down, and Jean-Eric Verne also taking no points today. Nico Müller there, 10 points, moves him up into 12th. Stoffel Van Dorn stays in 14th. And then we've got Dan Ticktum with a nice 6 points in the bag, moves him up to 15th. So there we have it, guys. We go racing again tomorrow. Very quickly, final thoughts. What are the drivers doing and reflecting before we go into it today? Tomorrow.
We'll be trying to learn from Oliver today, I guess. That was so dominant. But it will be a very different race tomorrow because there's no pit boost.
And we won't be in it if we get run over. DC?
Yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. another opportunity to go and win some points. So I think today was a great start.
Finally,
I think they're going to be looking at strategy for attack mode. Hopefully the driver's going to watch it back, figure out how to get that done.
well, join us tomorrow and we will find out. Back in the Principality of Monaco, we go green.
Meet glamour where fame meets fortune.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Who will be the master in Monaco as the lights go out? It's Barnard who leads from pole position. So tight in the front of the pack, as you can see them all jostling for places. It is Antonio Felix da Costa out of the race in spectacular style. Ending opportunist for Dennis. Mitch Evans' race comes to a conclusion. Nothing that Nick de Vries can do. On the outside goes Oliver Rowland to cross the timeline and take his third victory of the season. Oliver Rowland wins the Monaco EPrix.
Good job, guys. Shall we do it?
And we are moments away from the session getting back and resumed. I don't know how my map was able to split between two different things, but I'm very thankful it did. Apologies if you heard any of the F1 Academy session throughout that broadcast as well. A little bit of an issue that we had to resolve quite quickly. We're gearing up, though, for the press conference to start in a few moments' time, and we'll be hearing from our top three in the race, and we'll have all of the action. We've currently got a look down at the marina, as you can see here. So this is what we are currently witnessing down there, the marina section, but then it fades out and doesn't actually work as well as what we have. So right now we've just got some images sort of flying in and out and waiting on the live. So we will hopefully have some version of the driver's press conference happening shortly. It might just take a little bit extra time, but I'm patient, you're patient. We're all going to be waiting for the same thing and the same access to come and have an entertaining strategy. It's not due on for a few minutes anyway, so we have time. But yeah, it's going to be fun, and I'm hopeful that it's going to be an energetic and consuming race. I've had to run out of the box then to sort that, as Jess apparently had an issue. It's been a weekend of issues coming into that. Race 1 will be on later on today as well. And if the rain does come for F1 Academy, then whoo, it's going to change everything up. So there's your race results once more as we wait for the session to get back underway. Apparently it's been live for 32 minutes as well coming into it, with highlights on the circuit. Just literally, it's been on orbit cam for a while out here, as we will wait for it to officially go back to live. This is the views we've been witnessing around the circuit, though, here in Monte Carlo. You can see what I mean about it being a choppy day. We've got a bit of sunshine around there, but mainly it's been overcast and a bit cloudy. Now, what they're going to do is the track opens up overnight, so they're going to redo it, clean it up. There'll be some champagne spills on the rich and famous. That's always the way the world works, but then we'll be right back in for tomorrow's action as well, and all of the racing running round as well from the streets of Monte Carlo and the Principality. Hopefully it doesn't take too long for the live press conference to come back available here in Monte Carlo. I've got 2 streams for the press conferences at the moment, so at least hopefully one of them would work, and one of them will pop back in as well. There you can see the audio in the background, and that's what we've got access to. All it does is fly around, and then we wait to see, and it freezes. So that's what we're waiting on, folks. The post-race press conferences are due on in 2 minutes' time here live on JB Motorsports and Formula E Zone. Fingers crossed. It'll be a good session, actually. I'm surprised that they went off air incredibly early for that of F1 Academy. Usually they wait a while and change it up. We've now got access to it, and it's really starting to rain in the Academy, actually. So it's actually throwing it down. So that's Chloe Chambers on pole with Palmowski in second position there. It doesn't look like that's going to change to come through. Press conference is due to start in 30 seconds' time. So we'll wait, and hopefully we'll have our post-session press conference starting, and we can get underway and actually get this weekend's first session wrapped up before we have to dive off. No, it's still flashing backwards. Press conference should have started now at 35 minutes past the hour. It's always a weird one, isn't it, when we're just waiting around. The press conference takes place later on, and we can't. If we're a trackside, we were able to throw up and down very easily. But getting the hold of the post-race press conference has been tricky, especially here in Monaco when it hasn't really been working oh so well. We've been able to have stuff from Jeddah be uploaded, but nothing has come from Monte Carlo or even anything from Miami was uploaded in the post-race press conference. So it's a bit of a 50-50 if you're going to be lucky enough to get access to it. If you do get access to it, then well done. But, yeah. Apparently it's raining heavy in Miami. I'm watching it raining heavy in Miami, so Formula 1 later could be quite entertaining. I think in a few moments we're going to pass over because the live media centre has just refreshed itself trying to load in, which means we might not have access to it shortly. It's so pointless trying to wait around for it. It's disappointing. It disappoints me, it disappoints you. And filling live on air is the last thing you want to do. It's literally the worst to try and fill time. Still, I suppose when we're in London in trackside, it'll be able to just pop in and go, right, let's go to the press conference. Let's actually take you in and film it. So let's take you back then to the start of the race. Yeah, good start there it was for Barnard when the lights went out, as we are waiting for our post-race press conference, but the stream is not working. Nope, I don't think we're going to get a press conference. It should have started by now. But yeah, Roland, his third win of the season after that one as well. Not too dissimilar to what we were expecting. So while we wait for everything to kick off, I'm going to try and get our top 3 interviews once again back operational on the stream, because we were back in the podium ceremony earlier on in the broadcast, because I want to hear once again from our top 3 around the circuit. Let's hear from them now.
Strategy, put us in the cockpit.
Yeah, I mean, you never know what to do, especially with these pit boost races. It's the second.
Nice.
Trickier to pass Taylor than I thought, to be honest. But no, look. In that second attack mode, I dropped back to 5th, and I was behind 2 Mahindras, and I was like, right now we need to get cracking. But yeah, great job by the team, and very well executed. Different board because they really.
Seems like the Raw feed's having a worse time of it than we are, trying to get working here in Monaco this weekend. I think we're going to have to abandon it, I'm afraid, because there is so far no sign of said press conference, and I believe it's taking place right now. I'm trying to message to see if it is, in which case we might have to go off air. Yep, Formula E. So just looking, the press conference is taking part, yeah. Yeah, apparently it's not going to work. That's a shame. There's no press conference. That's annoying. We had to wait an extra 10 minutes, but there is no press conference stream. I apologise. It's not even appearing. Honestly, the Formula E Media Centre is a bit of a joke. They need to sort of get themselves together and get going. Well, my thanks to everybody for joining us. What a race in Monaco. We'll hope to have a podium tomorrow. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.